What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to the channel. The Iron Claw is the recent movie starring Zac Efron that everyone is talking about might be the sleeper of this upcoming Oscar season, and it's one of the best movies of the year. Before I put out my top 10 movies of the year list, I had to see this movie, and thank goodness I did. We have lots of things to talk about this, so let me know your thoughts on the Iron Claw down below in the comment section and how this review is going to work. I'm going to tell you things that I really did like in a non-spoiler fashion towards the end of the video. We're going to get a couple spoilers of things that I really appreciated that they did, and we're even going to talk a little bit about the Oscars, if this movie has a chance or not. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and let's hop into the Iron Claw. So the Von Erich name was one I was pretty familiar with, and then this movie got announced, so I did a little bit more research, so I knew pretty much a lot of the things that were going to happen in the movie before, and the Von Erich family is just a tragedy. They call it the Von Erich curse. This movie just hits you in the feels basically from the jump. You get the dynamic between these brothers and their dad, who their dad is just pushing them to be the best wrestler they can be. Not the best person they can be, just the best wrestler. That you need to do this, you need to do it, you have to do it. And it's just basically these kids trying to make their dad proud. And that's probably one of the most heartbreaking things about this film, is that these kids are just trying so hard to be there for their dad and to really just kind of get their dad's blessing and make their dad proud. And that is such a devastating thing because your dad is never proud. He's never satisfied. And then you get into all the depth in the Von Erich family curse and what that actually means. And that is tragic. And then the whole movie basically is a tragedy of this family. And you're following the brothers that are led by Zac Efron, Harris Dickinson, and Jeremy Allen White. Got to give a shout out to all three of these guys. Harris Dickinson, I have not seen him in much, but he plays the character of David, the brother of David, and he is amazing. He's fantastic. Jeremy Allen White is proving to be a top-tier actor. He has several scenes of just bursting out with anger and emotion that you just get hit right in those feels. You're captivated by. And I've been saying this for years. I am a diehard Zac Efron fan. He's one of my favorite actors. He's been one of my favorite actors, and I knew this guy could act. Just give him the right script, give him the right movie, and damn it, give this guy the Oscar nomination. But let's talk about the positive side of their story, is that when they have these wrestling scenes of these brothers being together, the camaraderie of brothers and these guys working together. Going in, I knew it was going to be heartbreaking. I knew it was going to be tragic, but my wife was a mess. She was bawling her eyes out several times. I didn't shed a tear, but it definitely hit me in the feels, and it's definitely not a feel-good movie. Don't see this movie if you plan on having a really happy day after. Plan on going home and just curling up with a blanket on a bed, because it's gonna make you feel just a little bit down because of how tragic this story is. And the story is so tragic, but somehow, some way in there that they do have silver linings, and the way the whole movie ends when you get to that final, like, where the family is now, it does make you smile, it does make you happy, but this movie makes you feel every emotion from angry. I found myself so angry with the father throughout this movie. It makes you feel sad when the brothers start to turn each other and the tragedies start to set. And I also, several times, I was smiling, I was laughing. It does have really subtle humor throughout the film that works to its advantage very well. I love this movie. I can't stop gushing about this movie. Do I have any negatives? Not really. I really don't. I think the only negative I have is that this movie was maybe too focused on the sad. But that's not a negative, because that's just how this family story was. So I don't really have many negatives for this movie. Just, I loved it all over the place. Now, if you have not seen the movie, we're going to get a little bit more of spoiler territory, because I want to talk about just a couple scenes that they do, and it's just done so well. So 3, 2, 1, spoilers a little bit incoming now. You've been warned. So the tragedies obviously are with these brothers passing away. Their oldest brother passed away when he was a little kid. None of them really remember it. So then Zac Efron is the oldest in the family, and his brother David, who really gets the limelight over Zac Efron. Zac Efron, who plays Kevin. Kevin really gets kind of put under the bus. Like, everyone, all of his other brothers step over him, which is really sad because he's the only one to really devote his life to this for his dad. So his brother David, he passes away. He has a ruptured intestine. He passes away. And then his dad's like, oh, on to the next, basically, which made me so freaking angry. But they do this thing where they're watching Carrie, who Jeremy Allen White plays, and his mom is watching him on a screen on TV. And behind, you just see David sitting on a staircase, like, watching. And I thought that was brilliant. I have chills just thinking about it. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Sean Durkin, because I think he absolutely perfected that scene. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it just hit so hard in the feels that it made me just feel all kinds of things. And I was just pointing my way, I'm like, oh my god, they put David in there. I was like, it is a kind of a spirit in the house of watching it. And our other brother, Mike, who dislocates his shoulder and ruptures his shoulder, and he goes into a coma, comes out, and he's just not the same sense. He takes, like, I guess, whatever pain medicine he has, and he overdoses, and he passes away off his pain medicine. That one just hit you so sad, because this kid just wanted to make music. He was, like, the happy-go-lucky kid of the family, and the fact that he went down to this, that one hit really hard. The sniffles were going throughout the entire theater. And then it goes to Jeremy Allen White, and this is where I would say Zac Efron deserves the Oscar nomination. Damn near give him the win, but at least the nomination. When Jeremy Allen White starts to spiral, he's the heavyweight champ of the world and the wrestling, and he starts to spiral, nothing's making him happy, and then he commits suicide. And when Zac Efron finds him, it just hits you so hard in the chest that my entire theater, the air, you could feel people just sighing like, and when Zac Efron finds him, that's right there was the moment that I was like, this guy just has it, and it's one of the best performances I've seen, and it feels so real. Sean Durkin just captured the real of this, and it was just a terrifying scene, and Zac Efron brought that terror to the screen beautifully. And then probably my favorite scene of this is when Jeremy Allen White is in a boat and he's passed away, and as well as his brothers, and he's rowing his boat and he sees his two brothers, his brother Mike playing a guitar and David sitting there with his wrestling championship belt on, and he's going up there and he's like, hey, and he meets up with his brothers in the afterlife. He meets his oldest brother who passed away when he was really young. And it was just a beautiful scene that really hit me. My wife was crying up there, and I want to talk spoilers because I wanted to give out a shout out to Sean Durkin for these scenes because it was perfect. It was beautiful, and that's how they wrapped up the movie, and it just hit hard in the feels. And then Zac Efron's playing with his kids. He's crying. He says, men don't cry, sons. And they're like, Dad, we cry all the time. We'll be your brothers. Woo! Hits you right in the feels. I love this movie. The more I think about it, it's up there. It might be my favorite movie of the year. I'm not even joking. And as for the Oscars, I think this movie kind of came out just a little bit too late. I'm hoping it secures maybe a Best Actor nomination for Zac Efron. He deserves it. Sean Durkin, I'd love to see him get the director, and I'd love to see him get a Best Picture. I just don't like his chances, but at least Zac Efron, give him the nomination because it was perfect. This movie in general was perfect. It's a 5 out of 5. It's one that's not going to be easy to rewatch, but nonetheless, it is a fantastic movie. That's my thoughts on The Iron Claw. I had to get this video out before I drop my top 10 of the year list, which comes out tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. What are your thoughts on The Iron Claw? Is it a heartbreaking story? What did you think of it? Let me know that all down below. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.